Carter, Pee Wee, B Miller, Mark Stitt. I can name some more, no cap. That's some real shit. Lil Nick, Bank Street, nigga used to have you sick.
Yo, what up though? This is your boy Chris B. Daniels, and you are once again on Show and Talk. So, today's movie, Journey to the West. I put it to a vote. It was between that and Get Rich or Die Trying, but it was 2-1. So, Journey to the West won out. We will be coming to Get Rich or Die Trying though. But anyway, this movie, more like the novel itself, is quite legendary. It's a very, very old book. It's extremely long as well. I'm actually in the middle of it right now, but the movie is quite different from the book, in my opinion, because a lot of stuff that's in a book doesn't appear in the movie. Because, like I said, the book, if you did a movie for every part of the book, yo, they be producing movies for years. But anyway, the movie is quite simple. You know, at the beginning, you start off, you know, everybody is on, you know, in their little houses and on the dock and all of that. You know, everybody is working, doing, you know, going about their daily activities. And then this father, you know, is basically schooling his daughter on how, you know, animals in the water operate and everything. Like, you know, the crab jumps, it doesn't swim, but he's making little jokes. You know, the daughter saying if the stingray or the demon, you know, stingray or the crab tries to attack her, she'll eat it. And then her, you know, father is basically making jokes saying, you know, if you eat the crab, then the demon is gonna eat you or attack you. But you know, the water tries to not the water. Damn, I'm bugging. But the father tries to play jokes on the daughter, and it backfired on him because he kind of scared his daughter. But he started doing little tricks in the water and all of that, and the next thing you know, he gets attacked. But the daughter doesn't recognize this immediately, so she thinks he's just playing around. And then all of a sudden, you see him come up head first from the water, and then it's like this blood just starts pouring out of him, and then he's basically murdered by this big ass stingray. So a priest comes out of nowhere and takes out the stingray with this magic spell. So everybody, you know, on the docks or whatever thinks that, you know, the water demon was killed. However, it's this demon hunter that comes out of nowhere. Now this dude, he looks, you know, homeless and looks like a hobo basically. And he's trying to tell the people that, you know, that giant stingray wasn't the actual water demon because the demon hadn't showed up yet. So everybody's taking the side of the priest because the priest is the one that took out the big ass stingray. So they don't believe the demon hunter, so they basically string him up by his arms. And so he's hanging over the water. So the priest basically tells everybody that the water is safe again. So they all jump into the water and everybody's celebrating. And out of nowhere, the demon hunter, he looks over and he sees this cart or this water demon approaching the people. So he's trying to tell everybody to get up out of the water, but nobody's trying to hear him. So this one lady, she's singing in the water, and out of nowhere, the fish comes and swallows her whole. So now everybody is trying to race to get up out of the water. And then now, since they're back on the dock and everything, they figure they're safe. But the tentacle comes out of the water from the demon. So it grabs one guy, brings him to the water, and it starts grabbing people and consuming them. So the little girl that was with her father earlier is, you know, well, she's stuck in one area of the dock and her mother's on the other side. And her mother's telling her to stay still, but she's walking up to her mother because, you know, she wants her mother or whatever. So out of nowhere, one of the tentacles grabs her by her hair and tries to pull her in. And then the people on the dock, you know, basically grabs the tentacle trying to pull her back. So one guy, he grabs a knife, cuts her hair off, and then the tentacle grabs her in the back. So another dude comes and slices the tentacle. So the little girl for now is rescued, but shortly after that, she somehow falls into the falls on the side of the dock, and then the demon comes up from the water and swallows her. Now I gotta say, for a movie that was PG-13, this movie was unforgiving when it came to when it came to the kills. But I mean, it wasn't no gore or nothing like that. The fish just grabs her and swallows her whole. So now there's this baby that's on the end of the dock. Well, it's on this like wooden seesaw looking thing or whatever. So now the demon's coming for the baby. Well, before that, the mother jumps into the water. The mother of the little girl jumps into the water and confronts the fish demon. So the demon takes her out, basically. And then it tries to come after this little baby. But the demon hunter, he frees himself and he falls onto the, I'm just gonna call it a seesaw, because that's basically what it was. Falls onto it, and then the fish, the water demon, um you know, he, I guess right before the water demon was able to get off of the wooden plank, the demon hunter falls onto it, you know, catching it, so now it's stuck on the plank. And then he grabs the priest, right? He brings the priest down with him onto the plank, but it's still not enough weight to knock the water demon over onto the dock. So those two get knocked back. And then there's another group of guys, like three guys that come and jump on the plank, and it's still not enough weight. The demon comes down on the plank, knocks them back. So it's another group of dudes jump down on the plank, and it's still not enough weight. They get knocked back, and out of nowhere, this big fat chick comes and jumps onto the plank, finally knocking the fish demon onto the dock. And so the fish demon turns into this guy, which now the demon hunter, you know, he's trying to put the spell, you know, through these this book of 300 nursery rhymes on this fish demon, which is human now, but it doesn't work. So the demon starts beating him up or whatever, and then out of nowhere, this chick, she grabs him by his hair and starts whooping his ass. And then she traps him into like this little bag, and then pulls him out. And now he's like this little plush looking demon thing. So she basically captured it. And so everybody once again celebrates, saying that she's the real, you know, demon hunter. And the guy, the demon hunter, he, you know, he walks away, the hobo looking dude, he walks away, you know, stressed out. And he goes back to his master and tells him that he failed. So he breaks down saying that he feels useless because he wasn't able to save everybody. But he did save the baby. But, you know, what really got to him is when he didn't save the little girl. You know, the little girl's eaten by the fish and everything. Quite touching, you know. But his master, you know, sends him off. So he goes to, well, before he gets to this temple, is this woman, I guess they're priests, this female and male. They end up in this temple or whatever. And as his innkeeper telling them to take a seat, you know, basically taking a order, I guess, you know, wanting to feed them. So they try this roasted pig. And so the innkeeper asks him how was it, and the woman is complimenting him on saying, you know, how good it was, on telling him how good it was, and asking him was he the one that made it, but it wasn't him. It was the owner of the inn, and so or the restaurant basically. So it's this guy, like these two doors open, right? And we come to find out that he was the one that basically made the roasted duck, but he wouldn't talk to him. So the woman is keep pressing him on the talking, you know, on talking to them or whatever, but he wouldn't talk. So finally, she convinces him to talk, but instead of talking, he opens his mouth, revealing like this messed up row of teeth he got. So he's really a demon. He's not human at all. So what happens is they try to run off, and he grabs this rake on a wall. You know, it's his weapon, because basically in the book, it's the same thing. You know, the pig demon, that's who it turns out to be. So he uses a rake, like this rake, for a weapon, and he winds up killing both of them, the man and the woman. So that's when the demon hunter shows up at the inn or the restaurant. And so when he walks in, he sees there's a waitress, trying to, seat him or whatever. And on our point of view, you see a bunch of people in there eating, including the male and female that showed up earlier. But on his point of view, it's a bunch of dead bodies and whatnot on one side of the room. So he sees that these same people that's in there eating and enjoying themselves are also dead at the same time. It's a bunch of souls. So eventually he catches on to what's going on, and he tells the waitress to reveal herself. And so she does, actually. So he starts punching her. And then it's like he punches her face in, but it does nothing. And then the woman that saved the village or the people on the dock earlier shows up and winds up taking her out. And so she, has got this ring around her wrist. It's like the infinite ring or something like that. And it's a dope, to me, it's a dope scene because, excuse me, she uses that ring to take out everybody in the room because they're all souls trying to kill her and him. So it's a ill fight scene where she's using that one ring and making it into many rings and it's taking out everybody in the room. So finally, the pig demon, which his name is KL Hog, shows up. And they're now fighting. So he grabs his rake off the wall and she's using the rings to try to take him out. And he's literally just dodging. It's like thousands of them. He's just dodging them all with the rake. And so she runs up behind him, kicking him in the back and then revealing his true self, basically. So she grabs him and she tells the demon hunter to suck out the essence of the demon within him. And so it was funny because he didn't want to at first because of the, pig face or whatever. So eventually he does. And then it becomes like this boar or whatever. And so they run away. And later on, we come to find out. Now, as far as the water demon though, his backstory was that he was human once and he was trying to save this little girl, because this is when the demon hunter is talking to his master. And so the history behind that is he was trying to save this little girl, and the villagers of that same village thought he was trying to kidnap her. So they wound up killing him and throwing him into the water, so he becomes the vengeful spirit, which then he becomes the water demon, which was that fish that we talked about earlier. And so we go into the backstory of KL Hog, which is the pig demon. And we come to find out that, he was married to this woman, but she reviled him because of his ugly looks. So he became the pig demon and he wants to take vengeance on every single woman who desires a handsome man. You know what I'm saying? So that's his backstory. So later on, the demon hunter ends up in these woods or whatever, this forest, and this carrot shows up out of nowhere. It's like these group of guys and this woman. So they got a bunch of people hostage, including the girl that he met earlier. And so, you know, they took him hostage. You know what I'm saying? And the woman is basically questioning everybody on who's a demon hunter because they want to take out demon hunters and demons. So she winds up killing one or two of the people. And then she comes to him, the demon hunter, and then the woman with the ring or whatever, she walks up, you know what I'm saying, interrupting, saying that that's her husband. They got into a really bad argument. She ran away. And now he's out there looking for him. And that's why he's there. So what convinced the woman not to kill him is when he pulls out the book of 300 nursery rhymes. And the other woman with the ring is basically telling her, does he look like a demon hunter to you? You know, with a book like this. So she spares him. But then she's saying, okay, if y'all are really a couple, then do it. Like basically have sex right there on the spot. So, you know, it was all a trick because she had like this knife, like this dagger stuck in her hands or whatever, the one with the rings. And we come to find out that it was fake. It was like two pieces of a knife or something like that glued to her hands. And so everybody was in on it. So basically it was a trick to try to get him to have sex with her right there on the spot. But um, he was disappointed in her, and he was really getting annoyed with her. So she was getting annoyed at the fact that he didn't want her. So, she had him locked up. And so now she's walking. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention, there's this one guy that she had sliced, and then all this blood started shooting out the top of his head. But it wasn't real. It was some kind of like device connected to him, which had like, I guess it malfunctioned when she hit him with the sword. So now he's just leaking everywhere. Now, when I first seen this movie, I thought that was just him like literally leaking. And I thought, like, what the fuck? How's this dude acting normal and he's over here just spraying blood everywhere? But it wasn't. It was just a device. I didn't catch that part at first. But what happens now? The girl's sister, her younger sister, is trying to teach her how to act girly. The one with the rings, but she doesn't know how. So she puts like this obedience seal on her, and so whatever she does, the woman with the ring does. So she shows back up to where the demon hunter is, trying to be seductive and everything. And the demon hunter basically is working at first, but then the guy with the blood is still shooting out sprays onto the other girl. So whatever she does, like I said, the girl with the rings does. So she's complaining that this guy is spraying blood all over her. So now the woman with the rings is basically saying the same thing to the demon hunter, like you're spraying all of it. And he said he hasn't pissed yet. Now this movie is comedic, it's comedy and like comedy and drama basically. So in martial arts, but so her attempts on trying to get him fails once again. So the obedience seal falls off of her and lands on the demon hunter. So the two guys come in, I guess, ready to execute him, and he started doing some old seductive dances and whatnot because the girl outside thinks that the woman with the rings is still in there, but she's not. And so she starts doing these seductive dances and whatnot. So he's doing whatever she does. And yo, if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. That part is hilarious. But after that, that's when the pig demon shows up. And so they had this battle carriage and everybody jumps in, and the way they operate it, it's like real ancient or whatever, but so they haul ass, and then the pig demon, can't catch up with the carriage, so it cuts him off from the front. And so the woman with the rings is telling old boy to ram the pig demon, run into him, and so they do so, and the whole carriage is destroyed. And so the woman with the rings, she plays dead because she pushes the demon hunter out of the carriage before it rams into the pig demon. And so the demon hunter gets up, he's looking through the wreckage, and he spots the woman with the ring. She's incapacitated, so he is cradling her in his arms, and he's starting to cry or whatever. And she tricks him again to try to, get his infections or whatever. So it doesn't work. And then that's when the pig demon shows back up. And so now she confronts him, but before, they're able to do anything, that's when these three dudes show up. Is this Tiger Warrior. Tiger Warrior, which I'm gonna call him because I didn't really know his name. And then you got the Prince. And then you got the guy with the foot. So all three of them show up, and the pig demon runs away. And so now the funniest one out of the three was the Prince, because he looked sick, but he was cocky, you know what I'm saying? And the dude with the foot basically knew who he was, saying that he had the best sword skill. He's like the best swordsman in history, basically. So he has like these 4 maidens with him, but they like old women or whatever. Now I can't really explain the comedic part of this film, but you just have to watch that part to understand what I'm talking about. It was funny. So after that meeting, the demon hunter is getting fed up with the girl with the ring. So he wants his book back from her. So before she gives it back to him, she rips it up. And then he walks away, pissed off. And so she walks away wanting to be left alone. So he finally shows up at like this small temple, this old little temple, to where his master told him the Demon King, my bad, the Monkey King, Sun Wukong was. And so at first he doesn't spot it because instead he was looking for a literal mountain, I guess shaped like Buddha, but he spotted it when he sat down and looked in the reflection of the water, and it was on the side. So now he's climbing the mountain, and he jumps into like this little cave that's a part of the mountain. So that's when this old dude appears. Like he's real pale, and he's been trapped down there for 500 years. And we find out that this was actually the Monkey King in human form. So he really doesn't have any abilities at this point. And the reason why the demon hunter went down there to find him in the first place is because he needed his help to destroy the pig demon. So Wukong tells him, basically, I can't do nothing from down here. I'm trapped. And they have to lure the pig demon down there. So once again, the girl with the ring show up. And the only way to lure the pig demon down there is for her to do like this seductive dance and song, because again, before the pig demon was the pig demon, he was human, and his wife, was something that he admired and loved very deeply. So she gets onto the mountaintop and she starts doing the song and dance while the demon hunter is playing this little I forgot what you call that joint. It's like rotated with the knob, and it plays music while she's singing and everything. But eventually the pig demon shows up. So they lure it to where Sun Wukong was, and Wukong, destroys it from, where he's at in the cave. And it turns into like this regular pig. And so they thank him for his help. And so the girl, she tries one more time to gain his affections, but it doesn't work. And so, she gives up and just leaves him where he is. And so the demon hunter, he's getting ready to disappear. And he's getting ready to leave. He thanks Wukong and then he leaves. And so now he's sitting outside of the cave where Wukong is, I guess regretting his decision by letting the girl walk away. And Wukong, he says, he asks him, is there a full moon out? And that's the way that, that was his way out, basically. So it was like this lotus flower that was blocking him in, that was keeping him from leaving. And so the demon hunter told him, yeah, it's a full moon. So he would like, Wukong would like to see it. And so he takes up the lotus, because the lotus flowers are blocking his view. So he removes that from the cave, the hole of the cave. And then out of nowhere, it's just like this fire that just happens. And then it's like all the plants and all that around him was destroyed. And out of nowhere, Wukong shows up in his real form, which is the Monkey King. And so he's basically telling the demon hunter that he tricked him in order for him to free him. So the three warriors show back up. You got the prince, you got the tiger warrior, and you got the dude with the foot. And so the tiger warrior goes first, gets no hits on Wukong. Wukong just rips him apart. And so the next one to fight is the guy with the foot, the giant foot. So he tries to step on Wukong, and Wukong just punches right through his foot. And so his foot shrinks, and then Wukong pushes him back to where the prince was. And the dude is screaming in pain about how much, how his foot is killing him. Like, he punched a hole in my foot, he pierced my foot. And I thought that was pretty funny too. I ain't even gonna lie. Like I said, this movie is part comedy, part serious. You know what I'm saying? And so the prince, he winds up using, these little swords that he has. So it's like he's shooting these swords out of Wukong. And it's dope because it's like this little box that has like these little swords in it. And then he's shooting them out, and they become like, full-size swords and whatnot. So that doesn't work either. So Wukong approaches him and starts, he screams at him and basically melting his skin off and all that. Him and the dude with the foot. So that's pretty much all three warriors dispatched in one shot. So now it's down to him and the Demon King. And the Demon King is sitting there, praising Buddha, blessing Buddha. And Wukong don't like that. So right before he was about to take him out, the girl of the ring shows back up again and tries to fight Wukong. But she fails because he jumps up and hit her in both sides of the face. You know what I'm saying? Basically killing her. And so the demon hunter finally admits that he really actually did love her. And so he takes her ring, puts it on his finger. And so Wukong is, cocky and all of that, basically saying nobody can stop him. But then when he looks up again, the book of nursery rhymes is right in front of the demon hunter. And he looks at the demon hunter and he sees that he's different. And he now realizes that he possesses the power of Buddha. So the demon hunter, he summons Buddha to take out Wukong, but Wukong destroys the statue. But then, however, he made it worse for himself because now the actual Buddha shows up to fight Wukong. And then Wukong becomes like this big ass gorilla, and it's still not enough. So Wukong is finally destroyed. Well, his monkey form. And so next thing you know, you end up in like this little grassy field area where he's at. And so the monk shows up, which he's now, a full-fledged monk. So he takes the ring that the girl had and he sticks it on Wukong's head. And I think it's called a fillet or something like that. I'm not sure. I think that's what it is. To gain control of him. So now they're back at the master's hut, and the master's telling him, asking him questions about, what do you think about love, like between man and a woman? And he's explaining, the monkey's explaining himself. And so the master tells him that the pig demon, the water demon, and Wukong is going to go, with him to search for the scriptures that they need. And so now it's a journey to the West, hence the name of the movie. So all three of their abilities will have the, power to protect him, in case they counter any other demons or anything like that. So all three of them are now under his control. And so as they're walking, starting their journey, the monk looks over into the sky and sees a reflection of the woman with the rings. And so after that, the movie goes off. I gotta say, man, this was a good film. Some people may not like it, but I appreciate it for what it was. Because like I said, I'm in the middle of reading the actual book. It's going to take a while to finish it, probably a couple of months, because that thing is long. But yeah, Journey to the West. If I got to give it a score, for me, it'll be an 8 out of 10. The visuals, now the CG was kind of ugly a little bit. I ain't even going to lie. Like, I didn't really feel the CG too much. But the visuals, as far as like the setting and all that, the sets and everything, were beautiful. Like, I loved it. The martial arts choreography was pretty good too, especially the fight between the girl with the rings and the pig demon over at the end. Yo, I thought that fight scene was pretty good, and a few others. But yeah, this movie is worth the watch at least one time. You should check it out. And if you don't like it, hey, you just don't like it. But if you do, it's a great film. 8 out of 10. Journey to the West. Check it out. And if you're watching this on YouTube, like, comment, and subscribe. I will greatly appreciate that. All right, folks, I'm about to jump off of here. About to go do something else with my life. So I'll talk to y'all later. All right? Peace.
The feeling is mutual. Come in, take a seat, share your thoughts with each, and preach it when you speak, so we can share kinetic energy throughout the brainwave. Keep us balanced out and all on the same stage.